one. Cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point here.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that, Ethan Olguin? My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto makes one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
Is that Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What
there.
a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vicente Tafoya. Ryan Brown that punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it pay.
Right back.
No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
All right, if you're just joining us or just waking up or just getting started today, big news in college athletics. The ACC chancellors and presidents gathered this morning, voted to invite Stanford, Cal, and SMU beginning next school year. So the Atlantic Coast Conference will go from the Atlantic Coast to the Pacific Coast and have a Texas school and 2 California schools. And that leaves 2 in the Pac-12, or the 2-pack. Washington State and Oregon State. And so next up, it's the Mountain West move. And hopefully the Mountain West, Gloria Nevadas and Garnett Stokes can convince Oregon State, Washington State that the best move for them is to merge with the existing Mountain West. But now is the big time for the Mountain West, and now is where this all is going to come down and affect you, and we'll watch where this goes, and hopefully I got to believe it's going to happen relatively quickly. So that happened this morning, and it's a big deal because next step is yours.
Yeah, there's no reason for this not to happen quickly. It's the remaining schools, Oregon State, Washington State, they have heard from their two best options, the American Athletic Conference and the Mountain West Conference. And now that this decision was finally made by those other three schools, they can go to their presidents and say, all right, these are our options. Which one are we taking?
Yeah. So that's what's next. All right. Last night, I know it's week 3. I'm going to go out on a limb and call it the high school football game of the year, period. 64-64. El Dorado, Atrisco Heritage. Jaguars have the ball 1/10 of a second on the clock at Community Stadium. Backup quarterback for Atrisco Heritage, Landon Griego, throws a Hail Mary. There was 1/10 of a second on the clock. 37 yards, heaves it into the end zone. Instead of getting knocked down by El Dorado's defense, it got tipped, ended up in the hands of Andres Villalobos in the end zone. Touchdown, 70-64. Atrisco Heritage beat El Dorado last night. Let me give you some crazy bleeping numbers out of this. El Dorado's quarterback, Brandon Olivas, the second most touchdown passes ever in a New Mexico high school game, one short of the record of 9. He threw 8 touchdown passes, 477 yards, and lost. Jags and Eagles combined for 134 total points. DC, it's the third highest in the state record book. Third highest scoring game in the history of New Mexico high school football. Latavius Morris, the quarterback for Atrisco Heritage, threw for 482 yards, 6 touchdowns, and ran for another 180 yards, 1 touchdown in his first ever start at quarterback.
It's pretty good.
Game of the year. I'll go out on a limb right now. All right, when we come back, Nick Nee, the director of golf at San Diego Golf Club, is going to be with us. Lots to talk about there. I'm really excited to talk to him and get his thoughts on Brooks Koepka being selected to the Ryder Cup team and Victor Hovland winning $18 million win the FedEx. That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
Well, happy September, happy football season, happy Friday, and good morning to you. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. Big news this morning out of college athletics. If you're just joining us, just getting started, just kind of waking up into the world, ACC has voted this morning to invite Stanford, Cal, and SMU. So there's just 2 teams left in the Pac-12, Washington State and Oregon State. And it's such a big deal around here because Mountain West is on the clock now. Next up is what happens with the Mountain West. And really more so what happens with Washington State and Oregon State. Are they going into the Mountain West, the AAC? What's going to happen there? So we'll get into that. All right, let's talk some golf because we are coming off a insanely good season in golf. A great year in golf. That was culminated last week with Victor Hovland winning the Tour Championship at Eastlake. He won the FedEx Cup. He won an $18 million bonus to win the FedEx Cup. But in a season where Brooks Koepka won a major, John Rahm won a major, Wyndham Clark won just a memorable U.S. Open, Brian Harmon, and memorable stuff, and still with the Ryder Cup to go. It was wonderful. I don't know if you think John Rahm's the player of the year or who else you got. Let's get you a golf tip, talk a little golf. We go out to the Sandia Golf Club. This segment is brought to you by the Sandia Golf Club. He is the director of golf out at the Sandia Golf Club, and Nick Nee joins us this morning. Good day, sir. How you living?
Well, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I get so much I want to talk to you about. Let's go backwards a week. Victor Hovland wins the Tour Championship. He's been there all year. He's been at the front page of the leaderboard all year at majors. Would you rather win the $18 million check in FedEx Cup, or would you have rather broken through and win a major?
Ooh, great question.
I do.
I think from legacy, you're probably wanting the major victory. But at the end of the day, I mean, you proved at the end of the year to play the best golf, won the biggest prize on the PGA Tour. I don't know that you could argue one way or the other which one's better or whatnot, because probably splitting hairs. But I think if you're worried about legacy, you want to win those majors. Those are the 4 highlight events. But $18 million payday is not too bad.
Do you have to win a major to be Player of the Year?
No, I don't think you do, because, you know, like this year, I have 4 completely different major champions, and how they went about their business and win. And that's obviously it's a huge test, those 4 weeks. But really, Player of the Year, you need to look at the entire culmination of the year, what they put together to be considered for Player of the Year. And I don't know who you pick this year. I think you could give it to, like we've talked about in the past, I think you give it to 10 to 15 different players this year.
Yeah, Rahm or Hovland or whoever. Nick Need, director of golf out at San Diego Golf Club from the practice field, is with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, it's like the question, you want to be James Harden or Rob Rory? You know, it's like, do you want all that money or do you want the championships? And I think, you know, being that it is such an individual sport in golf, achieving something like a major championship, you know, it has to just resonate so many, because even if it's just one, like that's what you're playing for, right, Nick? Is those individual moments in those major tournaments.
1,000%, JJ. I think you're right, and I think, you know, I get reminded of I think it was this week actually. John Rahm said, you know, it wasn't in relation to kind of the topic we're speaking of, but it's not about the money for those gentlemen, and what he was alluding to. It's not about the dollar figure. It's about legacy. It's about major championships. It's about what they can do in their individual sport to show that they're the best in their craft. And you compare it to a lot of different sports. Now, golf is very singular. You have to go out, and it's on you. It's you and the golf course. You know, it's not you against 5 other basketball players or 11 other football players or, you know, on the baseball diamond. It's you and the golf course. And John said it's not typically about the money for them anymore. It is about what you can do to prove that you're the best at that sport.
Yeah, but Nick, isn't there an argument to be made? I won the FedEx Cup. I was the best all year. I beat the best fields. I survived all year. I had the most points. Oh, and by the way, I won $18 million.
Absolutely. I think you have one of the best arguments out there. Now, when you have multiple winners throughout the year and they can say the same thing, that they played, you know, their way into all these the winning circles, and they did what they did throughout the year. But when you look at how the FedEx Cup is shaped now and the way they go about it, it does allow and filter who is playing the best throughout the entire year, and then who is playing the best, just like you would in the NFL playoffs or, you know, the NCAA bracket, things like that. At the end of the year, let's see what you're made of. You made it this far. Now let's see if you can get it to the finish line. And I think you have one of the best arguments, if not the best, to say, I am the player of the year because I withstood an entire year of play, and I did it in the 3 biggest events, our playoff series for golf.
And he was at the top of the leaderboard in most of the majors. Nick Need, director of golf at the San Diego Golf Club, is with us. All right, Brooks Koepka did not automatically qualify for the U.S. Ryder Cup. He plays on LIV. There was a whole big controversy. Should he be on? Should he not? Zach Johnson selected him, the captain's pick. Everybody seems to think it's the right thing. I think it is. He had a great year. He is one of the best golfers in the world. You're really curious how you feel about Brooks being selected to the Ryder Cup team.
Great question. I think, you know, initially my thought is let's get the best USA golfers and Team USA go win the Ryder Cup. As a PGA of America member, it's one of our flagship events, if not the flagship event, other than the PGA Championship. And let's put the best team together and put our foot forward and see if we can go compete and win away from U.S. soil. So I just want to see the U.S. team win at the end of the day. Now, what I think it does, and we've talked a lot about in our offices, the buzz around it is so heightened now because you have both sides of the aisle. Whether you're a LIV supporter, PGA Tour supporter, or you walk between the middle, you're invested in the Ryder Cup now, and there's a lot of buzz about it. And frankly, I'll be completely honest, it's all positive.
What about Justin Thomas? He's not had a good year. He's probably been the most disappointing player on tour this year. He did get selected, and I thought there were guys, and I know Keegan Bradley certainly believed he should have been on. He earned his way on. I was a little surprised. The way JT's playing, that he was selected.
Correct. I think there's a lot. I think Zach said in his press conference at the home of the PGA that there was about 3 to 4 that, you know, he had to kind of choose when it got down to who the 11th and 12th player were. But I think you look at, and this has happened on the European side with Ian Poulter, he rarely qualified on points for the most part, but he is one of the best in team golf, in the Ryder Cup format, in match play, in alternate shot. And JT's record, although it's not an Ian Poulter record, he's pretty good when it comes to those team events, and just how he's amongst the peers and the players in that team room, I would imagine. I hope that, you know, this is just my own personal thought, I hope that Zach maybe enlisted the 6 automatic qualifiers to get their take, to allow him to kind of steward who his picks were going to be. But I think, you know, I'm okay with JT. I would have been okay with any of them that were up there in consideration. But you take someone like a Justin Thomas that has proven to play under those circumstances with those nerves and be a, you know, very, very tough opponent when it comes to match play in the Ryder Cup.
All right, I got one more before we get to the golf tip. Nick Nee, director of golf out at the San Diego Golf Club, or maybe I want to go off the grid, or maybe this is on the grid. I don't know. People know you coach football also. You're a DB coach at La Cueva High School. Did you catch what happened last night between Atrisco and El Dorado? 70-64, Hail Mary with 1/10 of a second to go on the clock. As a defensive coach, it's got to make your stomach turn. But did you catch any of that? And what are your thoughts of the third highest scoring game in the history of New Mexico high school football?
Yeah, I think unfortunately last year our West Mesa game is probably one of the highest that we thought they were going to get to it. But I'll tell you what, it took my attention away from college football that was playing. You had Nebraska, Minnesota, and a great football game. Obviously Utah with a local and Connor O'Toole that's a little banged up for the Utes, but you know, them playing Florida, it took my attention away from those good Thursday night college football games to start the season. I was watching high school football on Game Vision. So, you know, as a DB coach, I think you're 1,000% correct. Your stomach's a little upset, you know, when they're up at 5 yards with 0.1 to play in the game. You know, you kind of maybe see a bunch of people lined up at the goal line.
Knock it down! Knock it down!
Absolutely, right? You know, that's high school football. Those are high school kids, and you know, there's some tough lessons to be learned. Unfortunately, for the El Dorado side, they caught it. They kind of bobbled around. But what an entertaining game if you like high scoring. If you like that, as a defensive side, I don't know that you tend to think that way because you kind of want to get some stops and give your offense and play complementary football. But
what a game.
Yeah, it was wild. It took my attention away from college football.
Yeah, game of the year, I think.
Well, Nick, you've given us a lot of tough lessons that we have to learn on the golf course. What's another one for us this week?
Yeah, I got a good one. I'll take a golf club out of your hand, get a tennis racket or ping pong paddle. We're going to work on squaring up the club face. So you can hold it like you would a golf club or just hold it in your trail hand. So for a right-handed player, that would be your right hand, left-handed for a left-handed player. What you're going to work on is when you take your swing, you're going to really try and get that handle either square to a wall or just slow motion, and so you can feel what it feels like to square that club up. And then you can put some motion into it and start swinging that tennis racket and see if you can square it up. Again, I like to do this typically against like a wall when I'm doing it, so I can really feel what it would feel like to have, you know, my trail hand be at an angle that I can square the club up for a good impact position with my right hand and feel like I'm really slapping the back of the ball with that racket or that ping pong paddle. But you can do it in air. You can do it wherever you want. It's a great drill just to feel what it would feel like to square that club up. And typically when you square the club up, you can hit some pretty good shots. You'll hit it more effectively. You won't cast the club. You won't leave the club face open.
Yeah.
But you'll be able to feel what it feels like to square that up. And that's one of the hardest things to do when you're swinging a golf club in a millisecond at full speed to square it up. So slow it down, get something as a reference like a ping pong paddle or a tennis racket, work on getting it down to the bottom of the swing, square it up, and feel what that feels like with that right hand kind of trailing in the golf swing.
Because of all the 265 things in a golf swing, I think squaring the club face at impact is probably the most important, however you get there.
Absolutely. You know, if we can't hit it square in the middle of the face, then what are we doing?
Spraying it all over the yard. All right, get people out to San Diego Golf Club. What do you got?
Yeah, come out and see us. We're about to unveil our fall menu that's about to come out in the next couple weeks. Enjoy the patio. Temperatures are great. And I'll tell you what, with a little bit of rain we've gotten at San Diego Golf Club, and our team and the maintenance staff, it is in phenomenal shape. Thankfully, hopefully we got through that tough stretch of 8 weeks because right now the golf course is in the best shape I've seen it all year. Best rates available online at sandiegogolf.com. Click that red ticket on our website. That's your best ticket to get the best rate on our daily deals. Those come out every day when tee times are available at our best discounted rate. So click that button, join our text line, and then after your round, enjoy the patio because we got a new menu coming here pretty soon. And we got a wonderful dessert, a signature dessert that's coming on that menu as well.
Get back to those DBs, man. You got to play some defense. There's some offenses in this state that you got to shut down. I always appreciate the conversations. Thanks for stepping away for a few minutes. We'll catch you next week.
Appreciate the time. Have a good weekend.
Be well. Nick Nee, the director of golf out at the San Diego Golf Club and defensive back coach at La Cueva. All around stud. I thought his thoughts on all of that stuff were fascinating. I threw kind of a red zone question at him. Would you rather win a major or be the FedEx Cup champ and win $18 million?
That was a good question.
And what's player of the year, really? I mean, do you have to win a major? And I get it, man. There's that prestige that goes with every one of those. But
I'd rather be the FedEx Cup champ.
Well, the argument to me is you're the best player that year. You endured the points. You endured. And by the way, I got $18 million.
$18 million and I'm a champion or something?
Yeah. Now, I don't have a green jacket. I don't have the Wanamaker. I don't have, right? But to me, that says I'm the champion of the year.
Probably $12 more million than whoever has a green jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that green jacket, man.
No, green jacket would be nice.
Go on Augusta anytime you want. That's something you tell all your friends.
No, there's something, and you take your friends with them.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you do. You show them a good time.
Yeah. Yep. And when we come back, we talked all about Patriots backup quarterback Bailey Zappi and Malik Cunningham. They went out and got themselves someone yesterday. Who does Bill Belichick like, and, well, why? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Monday night, Sunday night, and Thursday night football.
Telling it like it is.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Active this morning on the email, some of those as well here in a minute. All right, so a little drama in New England this week. It was cut down day, week, time. Patriots got down to 53 and didn't have another number 2 quarterback behind Mac Jones. Now, they re-signed the 2 guys they cut, Bailey Zappi and Malik Cunningham. They went out yesterday, and a little unexpected, but I don't know that anything's unexpected when I'm talking about Bill Belichick. And they claimed former Carolina Panthers quarterback Matt Corral on waivers. And he is now listed as the number 2 quarterback on their depth chart. Who is Matt Corral? Matt Corral was the 3rd round pick last year. So this would be his 2nd year in the league. A 3rd round pick of the Carolina Panthers out of Ole Miss. Played for Lane Kiffin. He was cut because the Panthers on their 53-man rosters, they had Bryce Young and Andy Dalton, and so there was no room. I don't know, man. What's the difference between Matt Corral and Bailey Zappi? I just think Bailey Zappi having such a poor preseason soured old Grumpy.
Yeah,
and he's going to.
Remember when there was
we're on to Corral.
That buzz that does Bill Belichick want Bailey Zappi to outperform Mac Jones?
Yeah, I do remember that. That was mid last year, and I bought
that.
Into
Was this season?
Was it this year?
This preseason.
Well, but even if he wanted it, he didn't, right? He was probably super disappointed
then he's
that
like,
the guy
dang
didn't.
it, I got to cut this dude.
Yeah.
Bring him back on my practice squad.
I mean, his name's Bailey Zappi. I mean, how good can he be? All right, Corral didn't play last year. He was on injured reserve. He had a Lisfranc ligament tear in a preseason game, so he was 9 of 15 for 58 yards in a preseason game. Matt Rule at the time was the Panthers coach. He said he saw really nice signs from him. So take that for what it's worth to you. But Matt Corral is your guy. All right. Nothing surprises me that comes out of New England. Nothing. Best question I've asked. That was such a would you rather win the $18 million of the FedEx Cup or a major? I'm still thinking about it. I still don't know the answer.
I am too, because I'm thinking to myself, like, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
You're with your buddies and you say,
you got a lot of money.
Remember that time I won the Masters?
Yeah. It would be hard, and you won a lot of money to win the Masters too, and you probably won a lot of money. It's not easy. And by the way, you win the Masters, you got a lifetime membership at Augusta. I mean, that's a pretty good one too.
Well, yeah. If
There's not a wrong
if you're
answer.
a professional golfer, does that resonate as much as just?
Well, what resonates? Winning the Masters, the FedEx Cup?
I mean, the
Masters.
lifetime membership.
Kind of,
You
dude.
probably go play wherever you want at some point in time.
Yeah,
One of those
kind of,
guys.
though. I mean, it's still a guy, kind of. I don't know.
The Masters also, you make up some of that
You
money
won
on
the
advertising.
Masters.
I think you're making up $18 million.
You're not making up the money. You're winning.
Over a lifetime, maybe.
There's guys that have won the Masters within the last 10 years, and you don't even remember their name.
He's not wrong about that.
That is a very good point. He is not wrong about that. That is true.
But they still have a green jacket. They still go back every year. They have the champions dinner. I mean, there's that, right? There's that. It comes down to this, and a question you and me will never know. How much is enough?
Never enough.
How much is enough money?
Never enough.
Like it is if $18 million is changing your life, then yeah, I want the $18 million. But if I've
you still beat the top players at the end of the season.
Look, there's something to being the champion of the season.
I'm Victor Hovland. I can go take $100,000 and buy myself a green jacket, and then in gold lettering put FedEx Cup champ on the back of it.
Kind of a little
and
different.
wear that
It's
everywhere.
kind of a little different, but yeah.
You can visit Ochocinco's jacket guy.
It's just the same dude. There's something to...
And the lining of it will be a bunch of dollar signs.
But let me ask you this. If you've made, I don't know, pick your number. I don't even know what if you've been on the PGA Tour and winning, or being top 10, like being like he is, what have you made, 40, 50, $60 million playing golf? Plus endorsements? So if $18 million is making the difference in your life, I want the $18 million, I think. But if I've made 40, 50, $60 million playing golf and endorsements, and I still got a whole, what's Victor Hovland, 27? I got a whole lot in front of me. I think I might want to be Masters champ. That comes with like 1.8 million anyway. It's not 18. The decimal's in another place.
Just a quick search says he's career earnings about 53.5 million.
All right, so I was right in the area, right?
Yep.
So does that include the 18?
3 days ago, so
Probably,
yeah.
All right, so he had made $35 million.
Yeah.
All right, so does the 18 change his life? Probably not. And he's young. How old is he, 26? That's a tough one, man. Like, he's going to make a lot more money. I don't know. Being Masters champion would be pretty cool.
25 years old.
Yeah, so he's going to make a lot of money. And that's just what he's made in golf, not in sponsorships.
Just in golf, yep.
I don't know, man.
I hate to think about taxes and things, but 18 really is 9 or less,
All right, so it's 11, 10 or 11, whatever, man.
So you're saying a difference of like 6 or 7 million?
You and I don't know the difference.
No, but I guess I'm looking at it and you're saying the difference of 6 or 7 million, which is a little over 10% of what I've made in my 25 years of life. I'm taking the green jacket.
Okay. I don't think there's a wrong answer. Dan, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Jeff. Good morning.
Hello,
hey,
Daniel.
JJ, DC. How's everybody today?
Life's grooving. What's happening?
How about them Utes, man?
They look good, man.
They look so good, bro. I'm like, wow, that coach looks so comfortable on the sidelines. Like, okay, boys, you're doing exactly what I want you to do. Hey, so my thing on the course, I think, on the golf course, I think you have to have a good pair of shoes, nice pair of shoes, a good glove, clean your clubs,
all right,
a nice pair of sunglasses,
absolutely.
Take a shower before you go so you're not malodorous to your fellow
that'd be rude.
golfers.
Yeah.
And that way you're looking good when you're shanking it left and when you're shooting a double bogey.
Dan's golf tip.
At least you're looking. They asked me the other day, Jeff, well, hey, are you any good? And I said, well, I'm really good at showing up.
Yeah,
so
I'll
you
be
know,
there.
but I love golf like September, October, November because it's nice and cool. The trees are mature, and it's just like a nice time of year to go out and shoot a crappy game. But I really I love that game. I get so frustrated with it, but I like going out with a couple of my friends because they're real nonchalant and they're like, let's just have a good time.
That's how it should be.
But I
dude.
suggest that do not start taking shots at Crown until the back nine. You know what I mean? Because then,
I had one of those last Friday.
That's
yeah.
I
had one of those last Friday. I stopped keeping score.
I'm the only non-drinker of the group, you know what I mean? So it's funny to watch them all fade away.
And then you start getting pissed off. Why can't I hit the ball? I don't know. The 5 shots of fireball might have helped.
Yeah, they don't even know what hole you're on anymore.
No, I had one of those last week.
Yeah, I know. Back to the Utes, man. I think that is an outstanding team, the Utah Utes, man.
They are.
Who do we have? We play Utah State this year?
Yeah, Utah State later in the year, not Utah. Utah State.
Yeah, no, I was flipping through the channels last night, and I started watching that game, and I was blown away what they were doing to the Gators, because you just think, oh, the Gators, they're always good, you know what I mean? But, boy, not this year. They sure put it on them last night.
Yeah, the Gators aren't good. All right, man. I'm going to move, but enjoy it.
Sure, I enjoy listening to your Sandia guy. He's always has a nice tip.
Yeah.
You guys have a safe weekend.
See you, Dan. Thanks. Yeah, that's good. That's the best golf tip we had. Don't start doing shots of Crown till the back nine. Yeah, I might have had one of those last Friday. I stopped keeping score.
Yeah, I've been there. I don't
have a lot of those anymore, but
sometimes it happens.
You know what? They're fun as hell.
Hey, don't let the golf ruin a good walk.
Yeah, it was. JJ told me once you can drink water.
Mix it in there occasionally.
He told me that. I'm like, that's good. All right, when we come back, I got a ton of your correspondence I got to get to you. And according to this expert, this team has the worst roster in college football. It's going to stun you because they're one of the most high-profile teams in college football. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal, your home for Monday night, Thursday night, and even Sunday night football.
The Jim Rome Show.
Indianapolis.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point there.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that, Ethan Olguin? My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto makes one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
That's Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What
there.
a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vincente Tafoya. Ryan Brown had punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it
right
pay.
back.
No! LaQueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Wide, like as wide as his legs could go as he was still standing up, and his right leg was absolutely out of bounds, but somehow the left foot came down a split second before the right in the end zone. Catch of the year. When you think of consideration, situation, all that, you're like, Jeff, shut up. It's week 1. You just call high school game of the year. I did call high school game of the year, by the way. This was unreal. Then Nebraska's coming back to drive to kick a winning field goal, throw an interception, bang, bang. Great move. By the way, one of the most, you guys both watched the end of that game, right? Mm-hmm. So one of the great, and I'm not a PJ Fleck fan. He's the coach of Minnesota, but I thought it was such a terrific decision. So there was a clock was running and they had a illegal procedure penalty. With 27 seconds left to go, they had one timeout. And that is an automatic 10-second runoff. And you have the option to preserve the 10 seconds by using a timeout. And PJ Fleck opted to not use his timeout, took the 10-second runoff, knocked it down all the way to 17, and then called a draw play, a running play up the middle to get 10 yards and get into field goal range, where if they'd have used the timeout, I don't think they kicked the field goal. He would have had to use the sideline. I thought it was one of the most unsung, underrated, really good moves right there in that situation. Did you think he should have, in the moment, did you think he should have used
Well, that was the easy assumption, is, oh, there's a penalty, use the timeout, save the time.
They always do.
But he trusted his kicker enough, too.
Well, but he wasn't in field goal range yet.
Yeah, but he trusted that just everything working out where they didn't need to get a huge chunk play. Like, they needed to get...
Well, they got about 10.
Yeah, but that's not...
Yeah, because it was 4th and 12, or 3rd and 12. Yeah.
And that's different than saying, oh, we need to get 15 or 20 yards, because then you probably want the time instead.
Really, really good move by him. All right. And then they go and kick the field goal lefty right down the middle. Boom, 47-yarder. Bad beat. Did you watch South Dakota, Missouri by any chance? I'm sorry, Elon Wake Forest. They brought this freshman kicker out who had never kicked in a game before, did Elon, to kick a field goal and with no time on the clock, and it covered the spread and pushed it over. Right on a last-second meaningless field goal. Down by 23 points, they bring out the field goal kicker's like, what are you doing? And literally, it covered the spread for Elon and pushed the game over on a last-second field goal by a kid who's never been on the field before. All right, so who's got the worst roster in college football? Tom Luginbill's an ESPN guy. He's one of the really respected ESPN analysts. So he said, you thought UMass was the worst roster in college football. And JJ, you've been looking at UMass a lot. We watched UMass beat the Aggies last week. The Lobos play them here in 3 weeks. That roster is not the worst in college football. With the transfers they brought in,
it is far from the worst roster in college football.
I don't know if they're a bowl team like Jerry Kill told us the other day. But we'll watch them play. They get Auburn this week. A little different than New Mexico State, but we'll see. But Luginbill said, you thought UMass was the worst roster in college football. He says, it may be Colorado. Colorado is the talk of college football in some respects because of Deion. Mm-hmm. And look, Deion made all the changes. He said, just come in and just change the coaches and come in and win? Nah, I don't work like that. So if you're going to change the coaches, don't you think you need to change the players? There are people who don't look at it logically like that, but you don't take over a business and don't change the personnel. I don't know if that's totally true. I mean, sometimes leadership is the issue. I don't think the blank statement is totally true. You can have really good people and bad leadership and come in and have better leadership and start turning around a business. I've watched that happen a million times. So I don't buy into that. I totally disagree. But I don't know what I am so interested to watch Colorado play TCU tomorrow. Because, and I get it, TCU played the national championship game, but that's a totally different TCU roster now, too. Their quarterback's with the Chargers. Do you have a feel on Colorado? Both of you guys have ties up there. I know you spent DC a lot more time up there than I have. Like, do you have a feel on them? Are you hearing anything out of there? Yeah, there's a lot of new dudes. And when you're 1-11, change the dudes. But are they, like 3.5's their win total? I'm going under.
Wow, I did not expect that. There's so much excitement that everything I hear is positive, like overwhelming.
Yeah, they haven't lost a game yet.
Right, exactly. So I did not know it was 3.5 wins. That is a very low number compared to the optimism I've been experiencing. So, wow, I'd have to think about that.
Do you think, I mean, if I give you...
I am not opposed to Deion Sanders and what he did. He is just opening everyone's eyes and saying, hey, if you want this to be about TV money and business, and well, I'm going to come in here and change the entire roster of a one-win team. They hired him to win football games. And there was not enough good football players at Colorado. There's a giant unknown when you have more transfers than we've ever seen in 1 year coming in. And it's waking up a lot of people to this is the direction that college football has taken, and the players wanted this as well.
Mm-hmm. It leads me right into HB's email. HB just sent me an email that says, football hot take. Jeff, I'm already sick of hearing transfer when describing almost every damn player. HB, I don't know how to tell you again. This is, and I don't mean to be harsh. I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. But if you're going to be a fan of college athletics, you've just flat out got to get over that. Jeff, don't tell me what to do. Oh, okay. But if you're going to watch college athletics and you can't understand, I think you understand it. Just deal with that. Then go watch high school sports, man. There was a great 70-64 game last night. But this isn't going backwards. Now, I gave you some stats recently about 40%, 45% of the transfers didn't find a home. Will water level out here soon? I don't know, maybe. But that's not going backwards, guys. Lobo Hobo said, what's the appeal of SMU for the ACC? Jeff, remember when the Mountain West was formed from the ashes of the bloated 16-team WAC and they left SMU behind? I do. SMU brings to them, they think, the Dallas market. SMU has a good football program, a very wealthy alumni base, and they are coming in and taking no money for the first 5 years. Yeah. So where's the appeal? We added Texas, we got to 18, and we don't have to pay them for the first 5 years, and we'll figure it out later. SMU is a pretty good program. Do you agree?
Yes.
SMU at one point was a nationally significant, the Pony Express. Then they got with the death penalty. SMU is a nice program. What's the appeal? That's the appeal.
Well, SMU is like a lot of bottom half power conference programs.
I think that's a great point. If you want to say to me, Jeff, what's the appeal of SMU, and you're in the ACC, and I start saying, well, really, dude? What is the appeal of a bunch of teams usually? What's the appeal of Boston College? Boston College, like SMU, is a small, private, faith-based school in a major metropolitan city where they're not number 1, 2, 5, or 7. Right? What's the appeal of Boston College? What's the appeal of Syracuse? What's the appeal of Virginia? Like, come on. So they're going into a league with Miami. Isn't it crazy? That ACC goes from Miami to California to Berkeley. It's insane. But yeah, what's the appeal? That's what it is. All right, when we come back, I'll get through as many of your correspondence as I can. I got, if you're on the phone, please stay there. We're going to get to you. And everything you got to know as you go into your weekend, which should be a really, really fun weekend as we get started with September. It is September 1. We're going to Labor Day weekend. We are not here on Monday, so we will also take a 3-day weekend with it. Hey, as you go into the weekend, think about this, taking care of your vehicle. Your second, maybe it's your biggest investment, your vehicle. Take care of it and get On the Spot Automotive Detailing out to detail your vehicle and clean it and scrub it and detail it. What is detailing, Jeff? I don't even know what that means. That means that they do more than clean. Inside, outside, under the hood, around the rims, under the seats, everything. So remember when you took your car off the lot and it was brand new? It looked, felt, smelled brand new. That's what detailing is. And On the Spot does it better than anybody, and they come to you where it's convenient for you and when it's convenient for you. So you're at the office, you're working, busy. They're in the parking lot. You get a text, you go outside, and boom, your car looks, smells, feels brand new. Everybody's staring at it. Do this for you. They offer a 10% discount to military and teachers. Learn more and schedule at On the Spot Automotive Detailing online at otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com.
This is John Marks with CBS.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Your funky bus fare.
No ho by yo?
I cannot do that.
Why not? You all right? I mean, is it Friday for you? Not even like a little ho?
No.
Give me a ho.
I would not be able to.
Give me a ho if you got your funky bus there. All right, there you go.
I actually felt like I'm starting to come around.
Yeah, no, you're getting in ho shape.
Hey, it takes some time.
I know, especially at altitude. I'm well aware. All right, here's what you got to know as you go through your weekend. Here's what everybody's going to be talking about. Big stories this morning. The ACC has decided to invite Cal, Stanford, and SMU starting next college football season. And for all their sports, the ACC will now feature Miami and Boston College, and, well, of course, SMU and Cal and Stanford. That's the ACC. The third highest ever scoring high school football game in our state was last night. A Trisco Heritage with 1/10 of a second left on the clock threw a 37-yard Hail Mary, beat El Dorado 70-64 last night. El Dorado's quarterback, Brandon Olivas, threw for 477 yards and 8 touchdowns and lost. Insanity last night. Latavius Morris for the Jaguars, 482 yards, 6 touchdowns in the air, 180 yards, and a touchdown running.
Between those two quarterbacks, there's 146 fantasy points. I mean, good on you guys, man. Have a good.
Good on you is right. Ronald Acuna became the first player in Major League Baseball history to, well, he didn't join it. He created the 30-60 Club, hit a grand slam for his 30th home run. First player ever to hit 30 home runs or more and steal 60 or more bases in a season. He is phenomenal. It's the opening drive, 505-246-0610. Terry, you're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Terry.
Good Friday, everyone. Thoughts and hugs to Austin, Addie, and Jack. Maybe explain to Hoser who Jack is. It took him 6 months to figure out who Baloo was, but he's got to give out his all subs burritos and Circle K hot dogs next week, so he's got to be concentrating that way. Nebraska, full of themselves. You know, they had Frank Solich, Bo Pelini, two really good coaches, but weren't doing great. But see how they're doing now. 8 and 9 wins, wasn't good enough. Now they get 3 or 4 if they're lucky. So that goes on. Lobos, will it be Game 5 that they hit the 92,000 mark for attendance? Having the Aggies here, I think then they will. So Game 5, they'll pass Nebraska volleyball in attendance. Timing is always everything. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Oregon State just had a $167 million bond to redo their stadium.
Yep.
Oops, that's not working out. You're trading USC and UCLA for Lobos in Wyoming, but good luck paying that off. And then golf. I was always anti-live, but it's fine. They picked Koepka. Of course, 8 years ago, he didn't like being on with his teammates.
That's right.
He would play well.
Remember that?
But, yeah, he was mad because when he got hurt and nobody called him, and so, he had a little there. That's fine. He's on it. But then to go in reverse and pick JT, I'm like, who's JT got naked pictures of these days? If he had been hurt early in the year, came back, came a little short.
He just wasn't good this
year.
year.
Was very atrocious, and just to put him on, if I was Glover or Bradley, I wouldn't be sending Zach Johnson any Christmas cards. Still wish for him to win, but, it's kind of tough when guys have really good years and you just go way down the line to pick somebody on that.
Yep.
So, it's something they'll go at. I don't know what the Europe team is going to do, if they're bringing in the live guys or not, but, it'll always be fun to watch. I would always want a major. Personally, old Jerry Seinfeld turned down $100 million to do one more year of Seinfeld. So sometimes there is enough.
Yep, whenever it's enough.
I think, majors are majors, and $18 million's great. You get free packages delivered for life from FedEx, but I'd rather have the major myself, and that's just my opinion.
All right,
so you guys have a great weekend. Take care.
Thanks. I'm leaning towards the major, too, because I think if you get to that point, well, I mean, if I'm me, I want the FedEx Cup. $18 million changes my life. I mean, 1.8 probably changes it too.
Well, take the money away from it, though.
Okay, yeah, which is more prestigious, the Masters or the FedEx Cup? I get that.
Because if you told me, hey, remember that year I won FedEx Cup, my immediate reaction would probably be no. But then I would say, how'd you do in the Masters? How'd you do in the Players' Championship?
I finished all right in the match, but I won $18 million. How you living?
I get that argument, but I'd ask where your jacket was.
You wouldn't remember the year you won the FedEx Cup championship.
No.
Okay. Who won the Masters 5 years ago?
Tiger.
Who won FedEx 5 years ago?
Yeah. See, but
who won FedEx last year?
Yeah.
No, I get that. Who won the World Series last year?
Houston Astros.
I saw you thinking about it.
I did. I was going to say Braves, but that was a couple years ago.
I saw you thinking about it. Yeah.
That was Tiger 5 years. It was 18 or 19.
It was Tiger.
Right? Yeah.
It was Tiger.
That's right.
See? 15-time
Remember
major
Tiger.
circuses,
No one else.
Ken. Jeff, this is a no-brainer. You're going to remember Tiger for the FedEx Cups or all those majors. But I'm asking you as an individual, right? Like not Tiger. I mean, I know what Tiger wants to do. I mean, Tiger wants another jacket. I got that. But Tiger's got more money than God. I mean, if 18 million is going to change your life, like you're Joey Hacker out there,
Tin Cup out
right?
there.
You're a guy who qualified for the Masters through whatever. You don't have those millions of dollars. I mean, the 1.8 is nice. Winning the Masters is great. That will change your life. 18 million should set you up, right?
On top of whatever you won throughout the year, too.
Right. Harold's in on Kelly Stafford, the Rams quarterback's coach. Jeff, what did this chick think was going to happen when you start hanging Rams dirty laundry out in public? That'd be like you saying you can't relate to these young producers, which is why the OD has gone through 50 of them. No, it'd be like my girlfriend saying that. That's actually somewhat funny.
Here's a good one in this conversation.
Yeah.
Would you want to be Danny Willett?
He won one Masters, right? That's really good, right? He's an English golfer who you can't remember him doing anything else but winning that one Masters, right? Now, I don't know what Danny Willett's lifetime earnings are.
$8.1 million.
All right. There's your question. So how much do you remember Danny Willett? He won the one Masters. You're not going to remember him. You'll remember him more for winning the Masters than the FedEx Cup, but dude would have 18 million as opposed to, well, he'd have 18 plus 6, right? So he'd have 24 as opposed to 8. Now, it's your call, right? But 24 million feels like it would make my life significantly different than 8, although 8 would be pretty nice.
24 is interesting because you're talking about sustained success over the year.
Well, no, I'm just adding. I'm adding the 18 to what his earnings were, as opposed to adding the 2 million to his earnings, right? So what has Danny Willett done? Have you ever heard? I mean, you see Danny Willett every now and then. Maybe you pick him on a DraftKings, the Masters, and when you get down to the bottom and need another golfer. So what's your answer? Would you rather be Danny Willett or
Championship bank account, baby?
Victor Hovland.
Victor Hovland.
It's a really good one. Thanks to Nick Nee. He made us think today.
Yes,
I think
we
we
did.
made him think today. I think I came up with that question.
Everyone wins.
Everyone wins when you think a little bit. Great week, man. Great week, DC. We're off on Monday. We'll be back Tuesday with award-winning radio then. Jim Rome Show is next. Heard with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes here at 4. And then you get the Isotopes in Sacramento. Adrian, great week. Enjoy the 3-day weekend. They got all kinds of great high school football over on ProView and Game Vision. And boy, did they have one yesterday. Big weekend for you?
Huge weekend.
Enjoy it.
4 o'clock, KKOB, Mexico, Texas A&M.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes. Don't forget global football tomorrow over on KKOB. Have a great, safe, long weekend, boys and girls. Enjoy the football. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you on Tuesday. No one wants legal.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.